Boardwalk Empire series introduced millions of people to this incredible true story. But the real events were even more extraordinary than anything the show could portray. Al Capone, the infamous crime boss, was born on January 17, 1899. A date that would mark the beginning of a fascinating and tumultuous life. The Boardwalk Empire series is great television, loved by millions of people worldwide, and for good reason. It showcased the Prohibition era in America, with all its drama, crime, and luxury. The show's creators took inspiration from real events and people, like Al Capone, to craft compelling storylines and characters. With its intricate plot and engaging characters, Boardwalk Empire series became a huge success, attracting a massive following and critical acclaim. The real story that inspired it, however, is even more incredible, filled with surprising twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Boardwalk Empire series brought the Roaring Twenties to life, but the actual events were far more astonishing. In 1925, Al Capone became the co-founder and boss of the Chicago outfit, a position that would cement his place in history. In Brooklyn, on January 17, 1899, Alphonse Gabriel Capone was born, marking the beginning of an extraordinary life. 1899 was a significant year, as it saw the dawn of a new era in America. Al Capone's early life was shaped by his family and surroundings, with his parents influencing his upbringing. At the age of 14, he had already dropped out of school, and by 18, he was involved in organized crime. On January 17, 1899, a new life began, one that would take Al Capone to the heights of power and the depths of despair. Before the Boardwalk Empire series timeline begins, Al Capone was already making a name for himself in the criminal underworld. In 1925, he became the co-founder and boss of the Chicago outfit, a position that would last until 1931. The fascinating true events behind the series are a testament to the power of history to inspire great storytelling. The real story of Al Capone is a fascinating one, filled with drama, crime, and luxury. In 1925, Al Capone became the co-founder and boss of the Chicago outfit, a position that would last until 1931. During this time, he amassed a vast fortune and built a reputation as a ruthless crime boss. On a specific day in 1931, Al Capone was indicted for federal income tax evasion, a charge that would ultimately lead to his downfall. The trial was a significant event, with Al Capone being sentenced to 11 years in prison. He was confined in the Atlanta penitentiary and later in Alcatraz, before being released in 1939. The Justice Department formed a special crime-busting squad, known as the Untouchables, to take down Al Capone and his organization. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre, in which 7 people from rival gangs were murdered, was a pivotal event in Al Capone's reign, inspiring scenes of gang violence in shows and films. Boardwalk Empire series captured the essence of this event, showcasing the brutality and violence of the time. Al Capone's lavish lifestyle and opulent Miami mansion inspired the depiction of luxury and excess in shows and films, including Boardwalk Empire series. One of the most shocking revelations about Al Capone's life is that his reign as a crime boss ended when he was imprisoned for income tax evasion, a charge that many considered unusual for a gangster. The discovery of Al Capone's hidden vault in his Miami mansion revealed a complex and secretive life, filled with hidden wealth and mysterious dealings. In 1939, Al Capone was released from prison, but his health began to decline, and he eventually died of complications from a stroke on January 25, 1947. The fact that he suffered a stroke on January 21, 1947, just 4 days before his death, is a testament to the tragic end of a fascinating life. The real impact of Al Capone's life on real people and real history is still felt today, with his legacy continuing to inspire and fascinate. Boardwalk Empire series brought this story to life, but the actual events were far more astonishing. On January 25, 1947, a life came to an end, a life that had been marked by drama, crime, and luxury. In Boardwalk Empire series, they depicted Al Capone as a powerful and ruthless crime boss, but in reality, his life was far more complex and multifaceted. The show's creators took creative liberties to craft a compelling story, but the real story is just as fascinating. For example, the show portrayed Al Capone's rise to power, but in reality, it was a more gradual process, spanning several years. The real story behind the series is a testament to the power of history to inspire great storytelling. Boardwalk Empire series brought the Roaring Twenties to life, but the actual events were far more astonishing. The show's portrayal of Al Capone's lavish lifestyle and opulent Miami mansion was inspired by real events, but the actual story is even more incredible. After the events depicted in Boardwalk Empire series, Al Capone's life took a dramatic turn. He was released from prison in 1939, but his health began to decline, and he eventually died on January 25, 1947. The real people involved in his life, including his family and associates, were left to pick up the pieces and move on. But the legacy of Al Capone lives on, inspiring new generations of filmmakers and writers. What other fascinating true stories are waiting to be uncovered? Follow Dark Crime Decoded for more real stories behind your favorite crime series.